852 LCM review. Some people call this lowest common multiple. Some people call it least common multiple. I put both. I'll show you the techniques to do this. There are fancy ways to do this. I'm going to stick with simple fastball down the middle. When you find an LCM of a number you want to try, remember, that's the smallest number that, in this case, number 14, 6 and 12 both go into. So it's the number of 6 and 12 both go into, not the number that goes into 6 and 12. That's called a greatest common factor. This is the smallest number that 6 and 12 go into. So you try the biggest number. If the smaller one goes into the bigger one, that's the answer. In this case, bam, it does. So that would just be 12. If it doesn't, like 20 here, 7 does not go into 20. 14 definitely doesn't go into 20. If you have 3 of them, all of them have to go into it. So you start taking multiples, thus the name multiple. So 20 times 2 is 40. You try that one. That's the next smallest number that 20 goes into. So 7 doesn't, 14 doesn't, and even if one of them doesn't, you got to do another one. So 20 times 3 is 60. 7 doesn't go into 60. So you keep going. And eventually, one of these will work. 7 doesn't go into 80. So you keep going. 20 times 5 is 100. 7 doesn't go into that. 20 times 6 is 120. Does 7 go into it? No, it does not. So you try one more. 20 times 7 is 140. Now, you know 7 goes into it, because it goes into it 20 times, and 14 goes into it. So this is 140. Now, maybe that wasn't the prettiest way to do it, but it certainly gets the job done. These are the same concepts, except it has letters with it. And the rule is you use the highest exponent. Okay, so I'll get to that when I get over here. But you take 15 and 35. Just look at it as the numbers 15 and 35, and then we'll put the variable on afterward. 35 doesn't work because 15 doesn't go into it. So you try 35 times 2, which is 70. See if 15 goes into 70. It doesn't. So you try 35 times 3, which is 105. I do believe. Yes, 105. And 15 does go into it. Let's see. It goes into it 7 times. 7 times. So this is 105A, because if you just have an A here and an A here, you have to have an A in your answer because A goes into A. So that's how you treat that. If it has just the same letters, you put the letter there. If it has if it has different variable terms like x to the second and x to the third, you take the bigger one. So I'll put a note here. Use the largest power. Okay? So otherwise we're just going to do this like normal. We'll take 22. 4 doesn't go into it, so we try 22 times 2, which is 44. And we're done because 4 goes into that 11 times. So it's going to be 44. And remember, use the largest power. That's all you got to remember. So this is 44x to the third. 44x to the third. And these videos would not be extra good without a word problem, so let's do a word problem. Oh, I got 2 more. Here's another example. It has 3 of them this time. And again, this answer, remember, is going to be x to the third. I know that. I can just plop it in there. Just because I got to use the biggest one. X goes into x cubed, and x squared goes into x cubed, because there are 2 x's and 3 x's, basically. So 15 times 15 doesn't work because 10 doesn't go into it. So 15 times 2 is 30, and that's it. 15 goes into it, 3 goes into it, 10 goes into it. So it's 30x cubed. 30x cubed. And now the word problem. Yes, indeed, the word problem. Here it is. You got 2 walkers, Olga and Annette. And Olga takes 12 minutes to walk a lap, and Annette takes 8 minutes to walk a lap. Let's say this is their track here. All right. Bear with me. I'm about to draw here. So Olga will be red. Olga. And Annette will be blue. Annette. Olga is going to take 12 minutes to walk a lap. So she takes 12. Annette takes 8. And it wants to know if they start right here and start doing laps, when do they meet up again? Well, this is a least common multiple question because, if it takes 12 minutes and 8 minutes, the second time around, it's going to take Olga 24 minutes. So let's just make a note of that. 24 minutes to do 2 laps. And it's going to take Annette 24 minutes to do 3 laps. So after Annette does her 3rd laps, they're going to meet up again. Boom. Right there at that spot. So let's see. It's going to be, you're just going to find the LCM of 8 and 12. And that's going to be 24 because 12 times 2 is 24. And 8 goes into 24, but 8 does not go into 12. All right. A cool little application of LCM in word problems. See ya.